Yeah, solid first day, practice without pads. I know I don't love that, but saw a lot of carryover from spring ball through the summer, and was able to do a lot of offense and a lot of defense today. Got some good punt work, and one day closer to putting pads on, one day down. We got to continue to improve. We got a lot of things to work on. But like y'all heard me say, I like our roster. And we got a bunch of good kids that are really talented, and a lot of people wanting to play for them. So we just got to continue to get better as a group, and looking forward to watching this tape. Looking forward to tomorrow. So with that, I'll open it up.
You have to feel good about getting all those defensive backs back with all those guys out this past spring.
Yeah, just feel good about all of it, Andrew. Just recruiting, just the players we got. We got 113 players that somebody else wanted, It's been a lot of recruiting battles won over the last 3 years. You know that. You've written about it. And they're good kids. They've grown and have gotten better and better. And we got a lot of talent back there. A lot of guys. We got a lot of guys that have played a lot and played well, coupled with a lot of highly recruited recruits that have come in. So there's some intense competition back there.
What's the loss of Zay Franks just kind of mean for that cornerback room?
Well, we just love Zay. We love Zay. It's twofold. Number one, you hate it for him. But the other side of it is we're just so thankful to the good Lord that we were able to find it. Because that's something that's been with him no telling how long in his life. And it's so dangerous. And I just thank God every day that it came, it notified us and let us find it for him, because that could have been a really tragic deal, and I credit Todd McCall, I credit Coach Ankar, I credit Zay, but really I just give all the credit and glory to God on that, because that could have been a terrible thing, and we love him and we'll miss him. Like y'all know, Andrew's question right before yours was, what about all that depth in the DB room? So we've got enough to overcome it. I think Zay would tell you that too. But we love Zay, and we're here for him. We're going to shoulder this burden with him. We're going to grow through it. God's got a purpose in this. Zay don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is. But there's some underlying message for him that he's going to grow and learn through this. And I'm just excited to help him find that, to find what God's purpose is through all this deal we're going to go through with him.
Let's talk a little bit about getting one of the best pieces from your 23 class in here in Elijah Douglas.
Oh, God, that was huge. Elijah was one of the top group of 5 signees in the country 2 years ago. Credit to Reed Stringer. Just one of the great problem solvers and eligibility creators in the country. Has been doing it forever. And Elijah and his family worked hard with Coach Stringer, and this has been a 1-year battle. And he is going to be a really good football player for us, in the future. You go, Taylor. You've been waiting your turn.
Well, I was going to ask about your linebackers, because there's a lot of good names out there.
Yeah.
Guys that have experience, though.
They do.
What do you like about that unit, and I guess what you need to see from those guys and some of the newer guys to know that you can trust them out there on the field?
Well, what I like about them is how many plays they've made in college football relative to the level that we play at. Jalen Sims played in our league and played well. Des Baker played at Rice on a bowl team, was a starter, and then was a starter at Western Kentucky on a bowl team. So, they've made a lot of plays. Trey Pinckney was a starter on a Coastal Carolina team that won 9 games. So, they have played a lot of Sun Belt level football and played at a high level. So that's what I like. And then I like the youth. I like Jacob Johnson. I like Chris Jones. And, so I think we got a good mix of older maturity in there that has comfortability of making plays. It's not like they're going to play college football this game this year and be like, man, I wonder what this is going to be about. They've played tons of them. And then we got some good youth right there pushing them.
I know I asked you about Reed yesterday, but Justin, man, he looks just ginormous.
Yeah, two fabulous signees. They're young, but Justin Reed was a Power 5 commitment to Georgia Tech. Reed Jeselowski was, in my opinion, the best high school football player in Mississippi last year. So you're talking about 2 kids that, again, they didn't, Southern Miss didn't choose them. They chose Southern Miss out of a lot of options. They had over 20-something offers, both of them. And so, when you win in recruiting, you feel like you get really good players. And man, they are. You saw it right. Those are 2 young kids that have got a chance to be really dynamic.
And Dante Lucas as well, getting him from South Alabama.
Humongous.
Yeah.
Maybe you could argue he's the top group of 5 signee in the country. all
agree.
teams. I mean, he was a dominant Sun Belt player last year. You can ask our D-line; they had to go against him. I mean, he is a dominant football player.
Do you think he's plug and play starter then at right guard?
Well, we got good competition. You know, I'm not going to do. You're not going to trick me into that. You know what I mean? We're going to compete. You know how we are, man. We got the rest of this week. We got the rest of next week, and the rest of next week, and then we'll name some starters. If Dante does what he's done in the past, he'll have a great chance to start. But we got 2 young guys, man, and you know, you got Zach Conte, Will Saxton, Claiborne Pollard, and Joe Cryer, and they were highly recruited too, and they didn't come here to sit on the bench. You know what I mean? So they're competing with him every day, which is great.
Can you speak on how Dennis Jackson has ended up here? I didn't realize he's still college eligible.
Yeah, Dennis. Man, we're getting him at a really good time. Dennis has kind of been through the ringer and back, 2 SEC schools. He's so humble. His humility and the way he wants to touch people was just unbelievable during the recruiting process. He convinced me. You know, we have a thing when we recruit transfers. We tell them, you know, you will become us. We won't become you. We won't apologize for that. And so me and Coach Lindsay are recruiting Dennis. And I said that for the 3rd time in one sitting. Like, we're having this great sitting. We're talking about everything for this to work for him and work for us. And I said again, Dennis, I want you to understand, like, you will have to become us or this will not be good. And after I said it the 3rd time, he said, Coach, I don't mean no disrespect, but can I stop you right there? And I said, sure. He said, you don't have to say that no more. You don't have to worry about that. I want to come home. I want to lift this university up. I want to matter again. And I said, Coach Lindsay, that's it. I'm good. I'm out of here. Dennis, I'm good. Y'all figure this out and get it done. We'll see you next week. And he's been that way from the moment we got him. Like, he just wants to, he understands that, because he's been through it. You know, he just understands if you help enough people get what they want, you can get what you want. You know, and I'm proud he's here.
I noticed that the Barnes twins both had red jerseys on.
Yeah,
What's their status?
Yeah, well, you know, understand. He was there in spring ball when they tore their ACL.
Oh,
I'm sorry if you didn't know. Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
they tore their ACL in spring ball,
My
both
bad.
of them. They'll be back. We'll get them back at the end of this season.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Damon, if you didn't know that. I thought you did.
Hey, another question about your linebackers, because another new guy transfer in here, Avery Sledge. I wonder how you feel like he may be able to contribute.
Big, long athlete, unbelievable football player at Forest County Ag. Another kid that we're getting on the second go-around that wants to come home and wants to matter. We're playing him at Willie linebacker right now. Tons of athletic ability. I am looking so forward to him and Chad Williams together over a period of time. Chad coaching him, developing him like a baby bird, letting Chad coach him and develop him. He's going to continue to get bigger and stronger. He's going to help us this year. But I just think he's got a chance to be a great player before he leaves here. And, you know, phenomenal mom and dad. And glad he's back home. He should have been. He's excited to be here.
Can you speak to the status of Jameer Lewis?
Excited about Jameer. One of the top junior college recruits in the country. You know, at one point he was committed to Ole Miss. And got him back home, got him back closer to home. Another guy that had Power 5 offers that we were able to convince to stay in South Mississippi. And, you know, he's got Jaleel Clemens in front of him, who's one of the top players in the country. But, man, I think Jameer, again, is going to be a really good player this year, and he's got a chance to be a great player as he continues to grow in our systems.
Looks like he added some quality weight this summer.
He has, and yeah, we're feeding him, and he's growing, and he'll continue to add more.
Are there measures that you guys are taking to cope with just the heat in these practices?
We go early. You know, we hydrate them, but nothing no different than I wouldn't think anybody does. It's just part of it, man. It's Hattiesburg. We train in it all the time. You know, it just is what it is. We ain't from Minnesota. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still getting used to it.
2 more for Coach.
I'm sure you're going to get asked this a lot, but what do you hope to see for separation with the quarterback battle?
I just, you know, executing the assignment. There's 2 things to me that makes great quarterbacks. There's executing the play call the way it's supposed to be, and then when something happens off schedule, can you make a play? You know, Pat Mahomes is the best player in the NFL because he makes a lot of off schedule plays, but he also makes the routine play almost every time too. That's when he took it to the next level. You know, Drew Brees made every play on schedule, but Drew, you know, he would get out of the pocket and make plays too. And so we're looking for the guy that can consistently run the offense along with make off schedule plays. The good thing is they're talented, you know, and so they have those abilities.
Last one.
Good. Appreciate